Hey sweeties, how are you all doing? Welcome to Nanyacim. If this is your first time of coming across this channel, sweetheart, kindly smash the subscribe button, turn on the notifications so you get notified each time I upload. And please give this video a thumb up. I appreciate you, and I want to say a very big thank you to every one of you for your support and love. You all are the very best. So today we'll be talking about a white woman who said that white people are so scared of black people because they feel like they are going to lose their power very soon. And that sounds more like, hey, yeah, they will keep being scared. Anyways, let's get into this video. Do not click out, stay glued to your screen so you can hear what she got to say. And that woman really needs to be protected by all means. Let's get into it.
White people are scared to death right now, particularly white males. They're scared to death that they are going to lose their power in the future. And they are. But if you want to get ready for the future, if you want to be treated well in the future, treat others well in the present. Victor Hugo said, "No force on earth can stop an idea whose time has come." The idea of one race, the human race, is an idea whose time has come. We are not going to be able to stop it no matter what they do. They can elect Trump after Trump after Trump, and that will not stop the idea that there's only one race on the face of the earth. It's the human race, and we are all members of it. You and I are cousins. Now, if you don't like being my cousin, that's too bad for you. But we are all in the same family. We are members of the family of man.
You say that all whites are racist. Can you expound on that?
Any white person who was born, raised, and schooled in the United States of America, if you aren't a racist, you're a miracle. Either that or you decided to educate yourself. Because education in this country is about white is right, brown's all right, black's got to stand back. Yellow's mellow, but whites, we educate in a way that says that white males have done all the adventures, have made all the adventures, have done all the discovering, have made everything that is good and has been accomplished according to social studies, which is actually anti-social studies, by white males. It's a lie. But we do that in order to maintain the myth of white superiority. The myth of race has to be maintained at all costs in this country. Because if white people have to give up the color of their skin as being something that makes them perfect, what do they have left? If we start teaching the truth about history, if we start teaching about Nile Valley contributions to civilization, it will totally change the way we conduct ourselves in the classroom. It will have to. Columbus didn't discover America. You can't discover a place where people are already living. But we celebrate that every October. It's a lie. We need to get over, we need to stop telling the myths and start telling the truth.
Most people will say, I'm not racist.
I'm not a racist. Why, some of my best friends are black. Yeah, and then you say, name one. Or this one, I don't see color. And when some woman says to me, I don't see color, I say, I knew that. If you saw color, you wouldn't dye your hair that way. Or I say, if you saw color, you wouldn't wear that shirt with those pants. I believe that you don't see color. It's an attempt to deny skin color. And it's an attempt to deny what's wrong with seeing the color of my skin. Is it all right for you to see me kind of pink? That's okay for me. I don't mind. And I suspect that you don't mind being seen the color you are. You have a right to be what you are. And until people in this country and people in this world get it into their heads that the first modern human beings that evolved on this earth were black women. They evolved in sub-Saharan Africa about 280,000 years ago, and every human being on the face of the earth today has the memory of those black women's genetic structure in their genes. Now, we don't want to admit that, but that's the way it is. And as people moved farther and farther from the equator, their bodies produced less and less melanin, so their hair, their skin, and their eyes got lighter. As they moved into the east, they ate a lot of fish and a lot of vegetables, so their skin took on a different tone. I found that out when I was raising little kids. My husband worked in a supermarket. He was the head of the produce department. And they had lots of oranges that they couldn't sell, so he'd bring them home, and I was feeding my kids orange juice like you never saw in your life. They began to have an orange cast to their skin. I thought they had a liver problem. So I took them to the doctor, and she said, what are you feeding these kids? I said, well, lots of orange juice. She said, stop it if you want them to stop being orange. Now, if you think that skin color isn't anything other than the body's natural reaction to the natural environment, get over it.
If all white people are racist, according to you, can they be reprogrammed?
Of course they can. Of course they can. Of
How?
course they can be. It's called education. I'm an educator. The word educator comes from the root duck deuce, which means lead, the prefix e, which means out, the suffix ate, which means the act of, and the suffix or, which means one who does. An educator is one who is engaged in the act of leading people out of ignorance. Now, I know you can change them. The second year I did the blue-eyed, brown-eyed exercise in my classroom, it was filmed by the Canadian Broadcasting Corporation. They gave me a copy of that film. I showed it to my father. My father was about 59 years old at the time. He's been a farmer all his life. He raised six kids, lost one, raised six. Watched that film as a 59-year-old man. When it was over, he stood up, and with tears in his eyes, he took his red handkerchief out of the back pocket of his overalls, his bib overalls, and said, "I wish somebody had taught me that when I was 9 years old."
CRT opposes equality. Have you heard this one? Yeah, we're against equality if you're for CRT. What does it mean? You know, Jefferson, life, liberty, the pursuit of happiness, we're all equal. That's fine if we're all white folks. If everybody's starting at the same point, right? Rich or poor, doesn't matter. We're all starting at the same point. Fine. But if we're black and white, we're not starting at the same point. We have to get to equity before we can have equality. So we're not even starting yet. So the people that are saying, well, no, we have to give black people a step up, this is giving them free stuff just to get to equity? I'm not sure it's just giving them free stuff. CRT says that all whites are racist. Does it really? Let's think about it. We had 250 years of enslavement. And then we had 100 years of Jim Crow from 1865 to 1965. Hadn't exactly been heaven since 1965. All white people have lived in this world. It's been in the air, it's been in the water, it's been normal for black people to be in a less than role and white people to be in a more than role. Even our kids. It's easy to see, it's easy to experience. We're doing it all the time. And what CRT is trying to say is that's now been baked into the law. It's been baked into all sorts of different parts of culture. And maybe it has.
All right. I mean, this is actually I absolutely enjoy the woman speaking and also the man also speaking. And the truth is that they know. I mean, the lady that she doesn't sugarcoat anything, and she exposed the truth and it's open. Now, as a brand, I don't know, but they are actually scared because they know the black are taking over. They are already about to take over. In fact, they have taken over already. And you see why they are doing all they are doing is because they want to silence you. They do not want it to take over, but it is your right to take over. It is time. The time is almost now, right? And what more can I say? I feel so proud that they're already knowing that, Black Americans are about to take over, and there is nothing they can do about it. And I would do look forward to that period, that time. I mean, it sounds pretty good. At least they know, they have the fear. That's why you see all the jealousy. You see them so envy. You see them acting all shitty around Black Americans. They absolutely know you carry a great grace. Anyways, this is where I am going to end today's video. Let me know what you all think in the comment section and see you all in my next video. Bye for now.